everyone. I just shared this message on my Facebook and a little bit on Insta, and and the response I got from everybody was like, oh my God, I needed to hear this message, because the response was so strong. I was like, I need to go on YouTube and give the message. And it's about when you're stuck, when you feel trapped in the habit of people pleasing, of putting other people's needs before your own, of codependency, when you really feel like you need stuff from other people. What's really going on, and I want you all to get this, because if you have awareness, hey everyone tuning in, when you have awareness around what is driving that behavior, when you are understanding, oh my God, this is why I feel the need to put everybody else before me. Oh my God, this is why I keep feeling depleted by others. Oh my God, this is why I never feel like my needs are met, right? And when this happens, a lot of the times we can get into a depression. We can get a lot of anxiety. It manifests as anxiety. With its self-neglect, it can manifest as, ultimately we get depleted, and we can go into isolation because we don't understand why people are draining us, or why we feel so exhausted, or we think something's wrong with us. And here's the funny thing too, most people, if not 99% of people that are in therapy, aren't the ones that are really like messed up in the head. They're the ones that have been affected by the people that are messed up in the head, that really need therapy. I think therapy is great. I think we all need great support systems, people that can hear us and understand us and guide us. But it's funny, the people that really have a lot of issues, that don't think they have issues, are the ones that are not getting help and are in fact wreaking havoc on the ones around them. So if you are in therapy, if you are seeking help and support and growth, not only are you on the right track, but you're probably a very loving, kind, intelligent, emotionally intelligent, in tune person. And what you're feeling is not, what you're going through is not because there's something wrong with you, but it's because you were conditioned in an environment that was unhealthy. So that being said, I really want to break the pattern of people pleasing, because the people that are seeking help from that are the ones that I think have the most potential to create so much good in this world. But people pleasing, when you're trapped in this cycle of people pleasing, of codependency, what's going on is there ultimately behind that is a fear of being abandoned. There's a fear of not being loved. And then at a primal level, there's a fear of death. And so what do I mean by that? Chances are, and this is what I discussed over at my Facebook, but chances are growing up, if you were conditioned to put your parents, we'll say your parents, other people's needs in front of your own. If you were conditioned to basically, sit down, shut up, don't get in the way. As an example, let's say that you were, you love to go in your room, lock the door, and for me, I would love to have my own time so I could pretend I was a superstar, singing into my brush in the mirror. And then I have a very vivid memory of doing karaoke for myself, and then all of a sudden hearing a bang, 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 bang on the door, and then a rattling of the door handle saying, unlock this door, unlock this door. And I remember it startled me. And then it made me, my nervous system is shocked, and I would have wanted to say, please don't bang on the door, please don't rattle the door. But because it's scary to me, it makes me feel unsafe, et cetera, et cetera. I'm having this really very physiological response. But usually instead of being met with, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to scare you, usually met with, at least in this specific memory, I was met with, this is my house, and you can't be locking the doors. I deserve to have access to, I don't care what you're going through, what you're feeling, how scared you are. I'm the parent, this is my house, and I get to have access to this room or you or whatever, whenever I want. And that will crush your soul. If you are conditioned to basically believe that, in that case, what I was learning as a child was, oh my God, even though I'm scared, even though I want my alone time, even though I want to feel safe, I don't deserve to have that because I'm just a child, because my parents' needs come before me. And if you have a lifetime of really sacrificing what you're feeling to be true, from inside of you, if you're sacrificing what you need to feel safe, what you need to feel emotionally balanced, what you need to feel loved, when you don't understand that that's okay. It's okay to tune in, it's okay to take care of yourself, it's okay to prioritize your well-being. When you're conditioned that that's wrong, you grow up and you don't work on it, you grow up and then you fall into the trap of people pleasing, because the thought is, when you're a child, if I don't please my parents, if I don't do what my parents say, if I don't basically sacrifice my needs and just shut up, I will be abandoned. I won't have a home over my head, a roof over my head. I won't have food. I won't have love, and I will die. And as a child, that's true. You do need your parents. But as a self-sufficient adult, it's not true. And unfortunately, we still, even as adults, we're still operating from that paradigm that we developed as children, right? Does this make sense? Let me know if this doesn't make sense. But really what I want to teach today is, if this is your past, if you had a childhood where you grew up and you basically were taught that your needs don't matter, shut up and do as I say because I'm the parent, I really don't care what you're going through. And it could be because, and this is, for me, I always want to preface this by saying, my experiences like that were, I had great parents. Overall, I had great parents, but there were a lot of situations where I did feel like, and I think because that's how they were conditioned. This is not to make somebody bad, right? We talk about how narcissists can't empathize. But a narcissist, people that really have trouble empathizing are just wounded children themselves. They most likely grew up in a very stressful environment where they were taught that in order for the family to survive, you don't matter, right? Your needs don't matter. Let the parents run the show. And so the problem is if we don't fix that thinking, if we don't understand that it's important, that true love, when you love someone, you listen to them, you can empathize with them, you want their well-being. Hi, Lettuce. Hi from Scotland. You support them taking care of themselves. If we had a world of people tuning in and taking care of themselves and aligning with their own well-being and becoming self-sufficient, happy, loving people, this would be a great world. So we want to support that. And when you're around people that don't get that, that can't empathize, that don't respect you, that don't essentially love you from that level, it's not necessarily because they're bad, it's because they're wounded. But it's not your job to fix them. It is your job to become aware of what feels good to you, what feels right to you, and ultimately be sufficient, take the responsibility to say, listen, I need to take care of myself first and foremost. If I don't take care of me, I'm no good to anybody. I'm coming from a low vibe. I'm coming from a place of disconnection. I don't want to self-neglect because then I don't want to have to become dependent on others to take care of me, right? So I could go on and on about this, but really what I wanted to teach today is that if you struggle with people pleasing, if you struggle with codependencies, what's behind that typically is a fear of being abandoned, a fear of not being loved, and then a fear of death. And I want you to challenge that. I want you to ask yourself when this comes up, is it true that if you stand up for yourself in any certain situation, is it true that you will be abandoned and then die? Chances are the answer is no. Chances are that you are a self-sufficient adult, and the people that don't support you taking care of yourself and your highest being, your highest self, your well-being, those aren't the people you want in your life. Those aren't the people that are going to help you thrive and open up and feel loved and expanded, right? The truth is that as I take care of myself, as I nurture myself, as I tune in and ask, what do I need? Do I need to rest? Do I need to play? Do I need to work? Do I need to move my body? As you tune in and learn to take care of yourself, you operate from a higher vibration, you operate from a place of health, stability, balance, and then the people that will support that vibrate with that will continue to be part of that path of well-being and expansion, those people will show up. And they will absolutely be like, yeah, you go, girl, right? And the people that are like, well, you need to please me. You need to, I don't care if you're tired. You need to do what I want to do. Those people that really aren't allowing you to put yourself first, they will naturally fade away, or it will become very apparent who vibes with you and who doesn't. So I hope this helps. Awareness is key, and then self-love is key, of course, and then acting from a place of alignment, right? Because it's one thing to become aware of when we're being driven by the fear of being abandoned, but it's another thing to start acting, having the courage to choose ourselves. If we're so conditioned to put other people's needs before us, the moment you decide to say, you know what, no, I don't want to do that, I'm exhausted, or I need time for myself, or I don't like doing this anymore, or whatever it is, the day you decide to stand up for yourself, that's the scariest, that it's going to be scary because all those fears are going to come up, those fears of being abandoned and left and not loved. But I encourage you to have the courage to do what feels right, what is in your highest well-being, and to allow other people to choose that for themselves as well. Ultimately, it comes down to loving of self, loving of others, and when we can operate from that place, we are all better for it. So I hope this helps. I love you guys so much. Let me know if you have questions, and we'll talk very soon. Oh yeah, and I think I also shared this message on my Facebook, so definitely check out my Facebook if you want more of this message, or my Instagram. So check that out. It's at the Heart Space, sending you lots of love. And I'm trying to figure out how to end this. Oh, hi. You're so welcome. You're so welcome. Thank you for being here. Love you guys. Okay, bye.